How I overcame depression. Many might ask themselves, how do I overcome this overwhelming depression that is trying to press me down? Depression is really no joke. Yes, I said that. Before now, I could easily advise people not to ever think of hurting themselves when depressed, without even having the slightest knowledge of what they are going through. Depression is often triggered by sadness, anger, or some sort of trauma. Experience, they say, is the best teacher. It might sound like a cliche, but it really is the best teacher. After having a first-hand experience of depression, I got to realize that anyone in depression do not just need a regular inspiration, but transforming words to help lift their heads up. Okay, if you're just joining my channel today, please, I'd love you to subscribe, click on the like button, leave your comment of what you think of depression or how it's affecting our young singers today before we continue, because I'll be giving us about 5 tips on how to overcome depression. Okay, so please subscribe and let's go along. Now, after going through the profiles of most young singles in my country that couldn't bear the sting of depression and gave in to that, I found out that most of them were either the quiet type, the overambitious type, the highly emotional type, and even those that couldn't deal with getting confined to a particular area. Now, depression is all about mood disorder, and there is no single cause because they have diverse causes for them. It may be triggered by a feeling of loss, sadness, anger, or unfulfillment. Now, the quiet type. Most times, these ones have a lot of things going on in their mind. But guess what? They can't really speak up because they're scared of either being misunderstood or shut out. So they decide to keep it within themselves and sort out answers for themselves. After all, no one will really understand me, they say. The ambitious are those that can't deal with getting confined in a little corner. Often have same issue. They just want to get busy and get things done immediately. They want to achieve goals and not getting distracted or being pushed through the path that isn't theirs. The emotional ones are those that just can't deal with negative emotions. Negative emotions could break them. Negative words, negative judgments could pierce their hearts all through the day. Now, these are not just the available ones, they are numerous, but still, that shouldn't be a reason to hurt yourself when depressed, right? Depression is not what someone in his or her right frame of mind would desire, but this just doesn't emerge at once. It takes a whole lot of other negative vices for it to mature to depression. Yes, I know this because I was once in this web, and it took me 12 months to regain my sanity. 2019 was a year in my country when young singers took solace in committing suicide due to depression. Now, I will never advocate that because it's never an option, and succumbing to that is a great sin on its own against humanity and God, as it is a direct path to hell. In between my story, I'll give tips on how to overcome depression. The truth is, during my own dark times, I had little or no information, which I guess was what pushed me further to depression. Our mind matured to a full-grown depression I can't really fix, but I was deep into a whole lot of thinking, which also resulted to health issues, which I battled alone without telling anyone. Now, that is the first mistake, which gives rise to the first tip. Number 1, on how to overcome depression. Confide in someone you can trust. I couldn't tell anyone that I wasn't really happy and was fighting a battle with them because truthfully I felt no one will understand. Plus, everyone saw me as being emotionally strong enough, but that was far from it. I was sinking in depression without knowing. I felt that it was just me being unhappy, that I could sort it out, I could figure out what is going on since I always figure out everything. But I was very wrong. I needed an external help. I needed to talk to someone. I needed to put dent because I was busy thinking of how to work it out myself. And as I was thinking, I was sinking deep. It got to a point where I was mad at everyone. I couldn't even remember the last time I was genuinely happy. I could easily make a fake smile then, but my mind was a mess. I easily advised and motivated people. People confided in me, but I couldn't confide in anyone. Because I felt no one will understand, so I know that feeling. When I see or hear people judge those that are hurting themselves because they are depressed, I bleed inside. Because to me, you don't judge when you haven't walked in that person's shoe. No one will be given happiness and sadness to choose from, and the person will want to live with sadness. Everyone wants to be happy and free. So please, if you're going through any form of depression, confide in someone, be it your friend, a mentor, a spiritual leader, or counselor, your siblings, your parents. Just talk to someone. It helps. And that was one of my shortcomings then. I couldn't speak up. Please speak up. Don't sink so deep that you will start contemplating suicide. Please, suicide is never an option. The second tip is, I think this should have been the first though. Acknowledge that you need help. Acknowledge that you really need help. I couldn't accept the fact that indeed I needed help. Then that's why I couldn't even search for help. Not until suicidal thoughts started creeping into my mind. That was when I knew I had to seek help. That was when I had to take it serious. That was when I had to read. That was when I had to change my prayer points. That was when I had to listen to talks against depression. That was when I knew that I had a fight. That was when I knew that I had the battle of the mind. Because this is now beyond unhappiness. Acknowledge that you need help. No man is an island. You can't always fix everything yourself. The depressed person is like someone sinking in a deep pit that needs a hand from outside to pull the victim out. You can't pull yourself out from a pit. You need a helping hand. So acknowledge that and seek help. To flee from this fang of depression, tip number 3, get alive. What I mean is engage in an extracurricular activity. Then I had little or none. I rarely met with people. The time I did was either for business purpose or church activities. I had little or no social life. Yeah, it was really boring. So there was no means for me to ease the tension piling up in me. It's just kept growing for 12 months. So do something. Enroll in a fitness class, acting class, dance group, singing group, anything that would help take out the tension, anything that would ease your muscles. Now I've enrolled in few groups and it's kind of fun. So yeah, first I got in to distract myself and ease the tension. But trust me, it was the best decision. Now I am more happier and free a bit as I got to meet people and share opinions with people. So I will really urge for that. Okay, please get alive. You can either go to the stadium to do one or two for yourself, hang out, get alive, do something. Now the fourth one, this is for everyone in general. Learn to understand people. Don't always be quick to judge, cast stones, rebuke, blame, yell at people for their wrongdoings or action. Learn to correct and love. Correct people the same way you would want them to correct you. Many youths can't confide in their parents these days because their parents will always be ready to yell, judge, and criticize them. They don't even know the emotional trauma their children are going through. So most times these young ones decide to keep it to themselves because they will always be told to act maturely or shut up and endure. You should be your child or word's best friend so they could easily open up their burden and pain to you. Not everyone is emotionally stable or strong. Many need a shoulder to lean on, a helping hand, an understanding heart. soothing words, and correction that are built solely on love. No one in the right frame of mind will want to kill themselves. Depression takes away the right frame of mind, and only an extension of love, care, and understanding can redeem that soul. Suicide is never an option. Get a confidant. Open up to someone. I overcame mine only by grace. Grace found me, and I also thank God for my spiritual background. But not everyone is always lucky to rise their head themselves. No, not everyone. You have a role to play. I have a role to play. Depression is not written on the face. It takes a soul-to-soul talk to find out. When I was going through mine, I laughed the loudest. I made jokes easily. I chatted with everyone casually. I was confided in, and I responded in love. But I was fighting a battle within. Say no to depression. If you can relate to this, or you know someone that does, and you need someone to talk to, you can always talk to me. Trust me, I understand. I've been there. I know what it feels like. I know what it feels like. You can send your message to me, and I promise to always give a response immediately. Please say no to suicide. Suicide is never an option. Open up to someone. Get a life. Acknowledge the fact that you need help. And family and friends, please don't take so quick or too fast to judge. Learn to understand your word. Learn to understand your child. John Crane said something. There is hope even when your brain tells you there isn't. There is hope even when the situation is trying to show you that there is no hope. There is hope. Please open up to someone. Now I'll have to give another video for us to enjoy next, but before then, don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, share, and turn on the notification so you get notified on every of my posts. Okay, don't forget to subscribe. I love you. Peace.